Hi guys, welcome back to the Spurred On podcast. To say that was a tough watch would be an understatement. Very, very devastating to concede 2 goals in the 90 plus minutes. I don't know. It's really hard to know what to say, to be honest. We knew it was going to be difficult with the injuries and the suspensions we've got out. I think I'm going to start with some positives. I think Dyer and Ben Davies played really, really well today. I think Dyer's probably going to get some abuse because his ball, trying to play it down the line, went out of play, straight out of play, and then they scored from the throw-in. But we were making mistakes like that time after time today. It is very difficult. I'd say until the substitutions were made, until Bentancur and Hill and Lo Celso came on, we just lost the ball so quickly, time after time, from playing it out. The bugbear of my life is when I'm watching football on TV and your team has lost the ball before the highlights have stopped playing. Like they show a highlight of a shot or something and you've got the ball because it's a goal kick and you've lost the ball before. So when the highlights finish and it comes back on screen, you've lost the ball again. And that happened time and time again today. I know that Ange is going to get some abuse because it's Angeball in reality that has conceded us those goals, I think, because we're continually trying to play it out from the back. But we have to realise that is what's going to happen with this manager. It's the way he plays. So if we love it for the positives going forward and when it works, we're just going to have to stomach it when it doesn't work. And a lot of people, I think pundits, will come out and say Tottenham have to be less naive and they have to see out that game and from the 90th minute try and take it into the corner. And of course, there's an argument to say that, but Ange will not say that, and that's why they keep trying to play. And I think those goals on the breaks came from that. It's totally devastating. I'll take it by half. Starting right at the beginning, it was an amazing goal. I hate cliches, but sometimes you can score too early, and maybe we did a little bit, but we nearly rode it out. But what a brilliant move. Decky's back heel into Porro, great cross, and Brennan Johnson doing exactly what Ange wants from his wide forwards, getting in across the front post from the back post. Great finish. But after that is when the kind of sloppy passing started. So much, like the players were slipping so much, and just, there was like, I think 2 or 3 occasions when the players, a couple of players, I think one was Royale, maybe one was Højbjerg, had the ball at their feet. They weren't even running. And then they almost like stubbed their toe and lost the ball and kicked it straight to the opposition. It was very weird. And we really suffer without Maddison because we don't have anyone in that midfield. Like I said, until the substitutions came on, we didn't have anyone in the midfield who could take it on the half turn. So they'll show for it. Like when Royale's playing in central midfield, inverted from fullback, he'll show for the ball and he'll get the ball, but he has to go backwards because he can't take it on the half turn. Same with Højbjerg and Sarr as well, not really very good at taking it on the half turn. So that was difficult. There was just some naivety. Royale kind of letting balls go out and Brennan Johnson letting the ball go out for a corner when he didn't need to. And some ill discipline as well. Bissouma obviously now going to be suspended. I don't think Biss had his best game again. He's kind of dropped off a little bit in the last few games. He doesn't seem as brave on the ball. Not willing to take it on the half turn anymore and beat that press. Which is disappointing. And there was a great save in that first half from Vic. He really saved us there. But the last 5 minutes of that first half, we really lost our discipline and our focus. And that kind of continued over the course of the game where we kind of let Wolves and the crowd get more and more into it and really feel like they were the better team. They were winning 50-50 after 50-50. I don't know. It just felt like maybe, Spurs were playing the game that they're coached to play, but did they really have the belief that they were good enough to cut Wolves open? I have to say, I think Sonny had his worst game for a long, long time. His touches back to goal were very poor, and he just wasn't really running the channels, and of course we didn't make him any chances. Moving into the second half, the press dropped off really early, I thought. We weren't on the front foot so much, and like I said, just losing 50-50s all the time, Sonny not in the game, and just no players who were able to take that ball and control it. I've made a note that I think, and I've said it a couple of times now, but we really did improve on the ball when Bentancur and Lo Celso came on, because not only did they show for it, but then they were willing to take it on the half turn a little bit as well. And I think going forward, we may have to think about bringing those players in from the start against Aston Villa. But obviously, just that last 5 minutes is absolutely devastating. Let me know what you think about it in the comments below, but there has to be, I think, maybe some kind of middle ground when it comes to the last 5 minutes of games that we can be mature and try and see it out. Because I've just remembered a time where we tried to take a free kick quickly, I think, when we were still at 1-0 up in the 90th minute, and I think it's Højbjerg's just kicked it straight to them. And in the end, it was like the crowd was sucking in the ball. When they equalised, I said, we're going to lose this game. And it was just poor, really poor. Kind of overall, it was a really difficult watch. And we just kept giving them the football over and over again. In terms of ratings, I think Vicario had a good game, made some important saves, didn't have a chance with either of the goals. Pedro Porro, I'd probably give him a 7 out of 10. He was fine, but I like it when he gets the ball. He's given the ball on the byline and his first touch takes him inside the player. I think quite often the defensive team or the opposition team are expecting him just to play that ball straight down the line to Kulusevski. So when he doesn't do that and he takes a touch inside, that's much more impressive and opens up the game for us. I thought Dyer, as I said at the start, I think even though I think he'll get pelters for kicking that ball out of play, he's only doing what he's been asked to do. And we just missed Maddison so much today in terms of him coming and getting the ball off the centre halves and giving that option. And none of the replacements were really doing that well enough. But I think Dyer and Davis played really well as they possibly could. I think we do need to play Davis as that left centre-back because it gives us the balance of the left footer. And so I think that's why he played instead of Ashley Phillips. I give them both 7 out of 10s. I thought Emerson Royal was poor today. He scares the life out of me when he's on the ball in central midfield. And like I said, he can't take it on the half-turn and he's so clunky. And he lost his discipline and it was difficult. I'd give him a 5 out of 10 today. Bissouma, I'm going to only give a 6. I thought he was average, and obviously now he's suspended. We're going to miss him, so I think they're going to have to bring in Bentancur and Lo Celso, like I said. Sarr, I thought was fine. 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10. As ever, engine and running throughout. But obviously got tired, and that's when the substitution was made. Out to Kulusevski, kind of 6, 7 out of 10. Just waiting for him to take that ball inside and put it in the top corner. But he just wasn't able to, unfortunately. Son, as I said, 5 out of 10. I thought he played badly. And Brennan Johnson, great finish. I'll give him a 7 for that. I don't see him kind of taking players on one-on-one. I know Semedo is quite quick, so maybe that's why. But I would have liked to have seen him get the ball and really drive. And because if you're driving one-on-one and you're going on the outside, then try and get a cross in. Maybe you can win a corner every so often. And we hardly had any corners, I think, because we weren't really getting in behind. We weren't making that many chances. So just really, the player I've missed out, I've realised, is Højbjerg. And I think he did work hard and he did what Højbjerg can do. But like we said, going to really miss Maddison, those injuries. I think we've got to bring in Lo Celso and Bentancur because without them showing for the ball, we just got nothing really in terms of playing that style of football. Brian Hill, the same. I like that he shows for the ball, but he just gets knocked off it so easily. And when we were playing in those last few minutes, we're playing from Ben Davies up the wing to him. The defenders know that they can just put a bit of muscle on him and he goes down, and the ref's never going to give that. He wasn't giving those challenges all day, so he wasn't going to give them against Brian Hill. Oh, so frustrating. But just spent the whole game thinking, I don't think we've got it in us to win this game. And even in the 90th minute, I was thinking that. And then, like I said, when they scored the equaliser, I knew that the crowd was going to suck in the ball for the second. Fair play to Wolves, 2 good goals. They worked really hard. They got their desserts in the end. But it's going to be difficult, Angeball, sometimes, because he is not going to take any prisoners when it comes to telling those players to keep playing forward, keep trying to make chances. But when it came to the 90th minute and after today, we were naive, and it's going to be very difficult to take. Let us get those players back as quickly as possible. God, we miss Maddison so much. I think Lo Celso is going to have to step up. He made some good tackles. He looked good on the ball. He takes it on the half turn. It's his time now. He's got to play, I think. I think they've still got to be careful with Bentancur because obviously he's coming back from an ACL, but at least he shows for the ball. Guys, let me know what you thought in the comments below. I know so many people are going to be absolutely devastated today. We've done well to have such a good start. We've got to be realistic now. We've lost 2 in a row. We're not going to be challenging for the title. That's just the reality. Too many things have gone wrong at the same time. So these things can happen. Can we bounce back against Aston Villa? It's going to be a tough game, but we've got to keep being brave. We've got to, as a fan base, keep believing that this is the way forward. There are always going to be bumps in the road. This is a significant bump in the road. It's difficult. It really hurts to concede goals at the end like that, but that's the Premier League. That is away matches in the Premier League. It can happen. Man City lost there as well. It's such a shame. I think I probably would have been really satisfied with a point there today, but we didn't do it. We didn't quite make it. As I said, guys, let me know in the comments if you're on YouTube what you thought of the game and what we should have done differently. If you're watching on YouTube, please do also go and follow and subscribe on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or Google Podcasts. If you're on Apple Podcasts, please do leave me a comment and a rating on there. That would be really great. And vice versa, if you're listening on one of the podcast platforms, please do come over to YouTube. It's youtube.com/@BarnabySlater_. As I said, absolutely devastated. A weekend ruiner, I think it's fair to say. But never stop believing, guys. We will have learnt some stuff from that today as well. So, most importantly, come on you Spurs.